Hi everyone, here I wanted to analyze a very recent video on Boris Johnson, the newish Prime Minister of the UK and a Brexit hardliner. As there is now a law against a hard, uncontrolled Brexit, he now wants a general election as he still does very well in the polls. So here he is basically campaigning. Let's see what we can pick up from his non-verbal communication regarding his leadership style in these troubled times.
What I think people want us to do is to leave the European Union on October 31st.
We all know that.
Well, that's fantastic. That's what we're going to do.
But you're not done it. When you should be in Brussels negotiating. Where is the negotiation going on? Where is it? You're here in Morley, in Leeds. You should be in Brussels, leading the British people to negotiating against leaving the European Union.
Well, unfortunately,
you are playing games.
Well, this gentleman's
the
entirely
whole
right.
Country knows this. He's been speaking for the last 6 weeks since he's been elected, and he said nothing. You have said.
So he basically gets heckled on the street. So let's see what's going on. In behavioral evolutionary psychology, there's the reptilian, the oldest brain, controlling the heart rate, respiration and so on. And then there's the limbic, emotional, early mammalian system, which still unconscious controls things like the fight and flight response. And finally there's the neocortex for consciousness, language and culture. So interhuman behavior can be broken down in very simple things. So when we meet someone at an unconscious level, the limbic system tells us whether a person is one of four things. He can either be a friend, he's one of us, one of our own tribe. He can be an enemy, which could be a predator. Third, the other person could be potentially a mating partner, or the other person is categorized as indifferent to us. This is a default, so we don't have to analyze so much. So here, between these two, we certainly don't have friends. They're also not potential sexual partners, assuming. And they're also not indifferent. Indifferent would mean they just walk by each other, or they check their phones, or they start yawning. So in this case, we essentially have enemies, and the fight or flight response is activated. This man on the street, the lowered eyebrows, obviously this indicates he's angry. He gives the eye glare. He either uses a fist or his hand as illustrators to emphasize his points. Sometimes he also uses the open palm, inviting him to a debate on the street. One hand is also behind the back, which is somewhat threatening because we don't know what he has behind his back. But at the same time, he also opens up his vulnerable area and it signals superiority as well. Similar to how he's bending down to Boris Johnson. So he's somewhat lowering himself to the level of Boris Johnson. So Boris Johnson on the other side, he's quickly turning away and sometimes showing his back to the guy on the street.
You had nothing for the last 6 weeks. You've gone into Parliament and you've played games.
So he's turning away. He's giving him the shoulder.
Well, actually, that's not true at all.
Completely true.
Well, it's not true at all.
You know
we are on the verge of getting a deal. We will get a deal.
So Boris Johnson also has a lot of false starts. He's showing repetition. He's stammering around. So he doesn't give the indication of someone powerful. He shows a lack of leadership, confidence and conviction. The man on the street shows no respect towards him.
Well, I'm with great respect. If the opposition want to do
A lot of false starts. People filming and laughing, so no respect. So
this, then why won't they have an election?
It is Dominic.
So why would we not have an election? So he's asking the guy a question on the street. He's not telling him, he's asking. This is not what leadership in troubled times means.
Cummings and you playing games with Parliament.
So he's showing a little bit of disgust as well when the sides of the nose go up.
Playing games with the people of the United
And we see also how he's turning back and forth.
Kingdom and all the people who are entitled to vote in this country. You are playing games.
So we're playing games.
have a vote.
So he's repeating himself. He's turning back and forth, again talking about the vote.
And at the moment, the leader of the
But
opposition.
that's your game. The game is to play this general election. I'm going to change his mind.
So again, many false starts. This is not what leadership looks like. Open palms, being open, asking, but he has to tell he's a leader.
You should be in Brussels in the
Again, he's turning to him.
We have been negotiating.
You are not. You are in Morley, in Leeds. You should be in Brussels.
We have
So he's turning completely his back to this guy.
been. We have been negotiating.
And here's a guy with a suit, the bodyguard is also dancing back and forth, wondering whether he should intervene. But he's going back, he's pondering, he's putting the finger to the mouth, he's shutting himself up, and people are laughing. There's no respect in the audience. They're filming like it's a little bar fight. So now he's trying to have an interview here. But now he's interrupting himself. He's shooting himself in the foot. He's turning to the guy again. This is not a sign of conviction and leadership. Again, now slightly aggressive with the finger.
We have been negotiating. I can tell you. No, that's not true. And if
how would you? It doesn't matter.
And now the guy with the bodyguard is moving in.
the only way to do that.
Again, no respect in the audience. He has a big grin and amusing himself.
The only way to do it is to get Brexit done.
So now he's trying to show clarity and conviction and leadership, or is it too late?
And take the country forward. And that's what I think people want to see.
You're not done it. When you should be in Brussels.
So there's a lot of repetition, a lot of dancing back and forth, a lot of oscillation. So this two-body system is really a frustrated system. Normally two-body systems are not frustrated. Either both like each other, so it's simple they're friends, which is not the case here, or both hate each other, and then they either fight, or one fights and the other has a flight response. So there's also then a clear thing. So he's the aggressor and he's turning away and he wants to flee effectively. But this is not what happens. Or it could be that one is attacking the other one and the other is friendly. So basically that means one is dominating the other, or the other one is submissive to the other one. However, this is not what we have. This is a frustrated system, which is unusual, because it's actually effectively a three-body system, which can be frustrated. So the third party is really the general public. He essentially is attacking, but he's stopping halfway because of the fear of punishment, because there are bodyguards, there's police, he could be arrested. He, Boris, would like to flee. This is a flight response, but he can't because he's on camera. So it would reflect weakly on his leadership skills. So he would look like a coward. So that would be a sort of punishment as well. Hence, it goes back and forth like an oscillator because it's frustrated. There's no single link between any pair of the three which can be fully satisfied.
Negotiating. Where is the negotiation going on? Where is it? You're hitting Morley in Leeds. You should be in Brussels, leading the British people to negotiating against leaving the European Union.
Unfortunately,
you are playing games.
Well, this gentleman's entirely
whole
right.
Country knows this.
So he's wobbling around. He doesn't know what to do. So this is no leadership. So Boris would need to make friends with the people on the street somehow. First of all, by listening, and he triggers a friend response, being categorized as a friend by giving smiles, genuine smiles, which involves the eyes as well. Then eyebrow flashes, where you go up with the eyebrows, which would signal recognition, being one of the same kind. And using on one hand open palms to signal that he's non-threatening. But after this introductory part is over, and after he listened, he would have to make clear, powerful statements, using the fist or the hand down gesture to demand attention, as he before listened to people and now it's their turn to listen to him. Unfortunately, Boris cannot do any of that, and this is a good example of bad leadership skills in troubled, difficult political times, where the public is very polarized. Okay, I hope you liked this analysis and talk to you next time. Bye.